Okay, good day, stock market traders and stock market investors. This is Total Investor, and on this YouTube investment channel, what we normally do is that we discuss technical analysis with trading opportunities, primarily based on stocks and commodities, and they can be either bullish or bearish. Most will be bullish because that's what most people look for, and hopefully we can find some very good trading opportunities. I think you know what's been going on with the markets lately. Today we had a very nice rebound pretty much across the board, and so maybe that spells something positive for a change in the general equities. So please keep in mind that everything I say should be seen as for just educational purposes, not for financial advice. And please watch this video all the way through. That way you can see all the chart patterns that I discuss, and hopefully you can learn something from that. And we'll go from there. Okay, please subscribe to this channel. By the way, all you got to do is click on the subscribe button, and you'll be notified by YouTube whenever a new video is posted. Okay, so we'll start off with the first one I've got is Antero Resources. AR is the stock symbol. The stock made a bottom, a double bottom, in fact, back in early May, and then I find the second bottom was back in the last trading day of May. What I normally do is find a target price. Is we add this bottom, or either bottom in this case, to the top here, and this works out to 20 and 24.5. So $4.50. You add the $4.50 to this point, and you would get $29 would be the target. Okay, what happened when that bounced? Where did it go? 29.5. How's that? Not bad. Okay, if you know what you're doing, there is money to be made in technical analysis. Okay, that was the top. 29.5 was the top. Pulled back to just over the 50% mark from this advance. Okay, we found a little bit of support coming across here where we had some previous resistance, and that's where we came back to 24. Okay, that was a very nice move. Now, where does it go from here? Well, if we look at this new pattern, it's looking more like a flag. Okay, this would be the advance, the pullback, which is a flag. Where does it go? Well, it just broke today. So where is the new target level? How do you find it? Well, from here, this initial bottom, $20, 29.5. That's a $9.50 advance. Okay, so you take the bottom here, let's say roughly 23.5, add 9.5, and what do you get? Well, that'll be like $33, I hope. I should know this because that was my minor in university. How about that? So you'd still have a good advance from here despite it breaking this trend line. Okay, so you've got a lot of positive going through this for this particular chart. Good 3-day advance, a nice gap here. Good volume going through. 3 nice candles. It's above the 10-day moving average. It's above the 50-day moving average. It broke the resistance here. Even the RSI broke resistance, and it broke the 50 on the RSI. So everything is a go for Antero. Okay, AR is a stock symbol. And by the way, it's also in the correct industry, natural gas, okay, which looks very good. Next, Brightview Holdings, BV, okay. The center of attention should be 750 level. Advanced, had it hit it as resistance level, pulled back, broke through that, stayed there, and then it became support. Had a decent advance to the $9 level, pulled back to what level? 750. Hits 750 for support again. So again, resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance, and that's the way it works. So 750 is a major support level now, has been for a couple of months. Where do we go from here? Well, here's a little bit of a hint. We made a double bottom here in the stock. However, there's in the RSI, the second bottom is higher than the original. So we've got a little bit of a bullish divergence. Okay, so we will get that signal once this the RSI hits the 50 level. You can start buying it now because, well, technically speaking, because you don't have a whole lot of risk on the downside. If you do buy it here, just all you got to do is put in your stop just a hair below the support level. Okay, so if you're wrong, which is always a possibility, you're out with a very, very small loss. Okay, but if you are correct and if things starts to move up on its next advance, well, we could be seeing a nice gain. So your risk reward ratio is very, very good. Okay, small loss potential, but big reward potential. That's the way you trade. Okay, because even if you're right half of the time, 50-50, there's a lot of money that you can make by when you have those kind of big risk reward ratios. Okay, so that's that for Brightview Holdings, BV. Next, Electronic Arts, EA is the stock symbol. Here, after the big advance, the stock made a top near 140. It's been all the way down from there. It had, I believe this has to be earnings, and it just got hammered. Made one low back in late August. A small advance, then came back and made the second low last week, I believe that was, or even 2 weeks ago. It was a lower low. Now, looking up here, what happened to the RSI? A higher low. Bullish divergence, okay? So that was the first indicator that we could be, not a guarantee, but could be making a bottom, or at least near a bottom, okay? And what happened? Well, if we draw the trend line here, hit it several times, and it broke. Look at the RSI with its downtrend line. It too broke the trend line. The RSI broke above 50. The stock traded above the 10-day moving average and now above the 50-day moving average. So everything is a go from here. Now, there's one thing that I did not include, simply because I try to make the charts as simple as possible rather than putting too much lines on them, is right here, 124 level, support, 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 and then finally became resistance here. It broke through that resistance level. Okay, support became resistance. Resistance was broken. We make it some support back as a test, but this thing is a go as is, technically speaking. EA Electronic Arts. Next, Ecopetrol. EC is a stock symbol. Lots of action here around 11, 10.5, and 10, where it became support, broke through, hit resistance at 11, then 1050 became support, broke through, then 11 became support, had a nice advance, 11 became some support, broke through, 10.5 became support. Okay, so lots of support and resistance and around this level. Finally, we broke through that upper level of $11 again. A nice gap, good solid action, and the RSI is just inches away from the 50 level. Okay, so looking very promising, and it's in a good industry here. So please put that on your watch list. EC Ecopetrol. VanEck Gold Miners ETF GDX. Okay, now this one is not quite at a buy just yet. It's got some work to do. And just before I go any further, I got the gold miners bullishness percentage, which basically tells you how bullish investors are in the gold mining sector, is in the pits. We're talking at 10, meaning 10 out of a possible 100. So it's very, very bearish. This is something that investors or traders who are bottom fishers want to pick up. Okay, it's sort of starting to indicate that it wants to form a bottom, but we've got quite a ways to go for it to be a buy, simply because there's just been a lot of damage made on the charts. Okay, we're in a solid downtrend line here. Downtrend as seen by the both lines. Both moving averages, the 10 and the 50, are sloping downwards. So far, the only promising here is that we had a low, made another low, and now we're above that level, okay, with today's action. Still needs a little bit more to cross above the 50-day and break this trend line, and we're almost there on the RSI. So keep in mind that although I like this particular sector, longer term or intermediate term, short term, it still needs a little bit of work. Okay, GDX. Next, Gildan Activewear, GIL. The stock has been trading in a sideways pattern between $33 and $27. Made a high on the 1st of May, came back down at the end of the month, all the way back up at the 33 level, came back down at the same level of support as before, 27, and now we've got what? This was the downtrend line, touched it several times, and finally today it broke. It's above the 10-day moving average, not far from the 50, but we also broke the RSI last week, and we are above 50. So this is looking good as is right now, GIL. Just keep in mind, 27.33, not going to be a big percentage mover, but looking good as is. So, but keep in mind, you have to look at it as what's the percentage return versus the risk and the time frame. Because if it's say, well, let's take this, what would that be, $5, $4? Let's say it's only $4 as a percentage, kind of small, but it's not going to take the entire year to get there. It might be like a couple of months at the most. So percentage wise, when you annualize that return, it's a decent return. Okay, so that's that. GIL. Next is Altria Group. MO is the stock symbol. Unfortunately, not a whole lot to say about this one. I do have some strong support that it had over here, 42.5. Hit it once at the middle of August, bounced, then came down, broke straight through that, made its second bottom here last week, and then bounced above that same level. So it was originally support, became resistance here, resistance up until today. It closed above that, so that's a good positive sign. The stock did see some slightly more volume. We are above the 10-day moving average, and we've got a bullish divergence here with the RSI and the stock price. That's good, and we're just a hair underneath that 50, but we'll count that as a signal to go with it. Again, keep in mind, because of the nature of the company, Altria Group, this is a huge company. Don't expect it to double overnight. It is a slow mover, but percentage-wise, given the the nature of the company, it's a good buy signal. Okay, MO is a symbol. Next, ServiceNow, NOW. If I'm not mistaken, I did discuss this in the past. I drew the support level here at 527. Once it broke through, it became support. Support here again here. It bounced, and now we've got it above the 10-day moving average. We're just touching the 50-day, and it broke the RSI broke above 50. So this is looking promising. Put this one on your watch list. NOW. S&P 500 bull. This is the 3X. Okay, SPXL. So basically, you'll get the 3 times daily performance of the SPX. Again, please understand that there's this is leveraged play. Okay, so leverage can work against you as well. Okay, so if you are looking to get in and you're looking at more of a shorter term play as opposed to longer term investment, this might be up your alley to look at. Okay, support was at 82, just above 82, touched it, came back down, broke through the support, and now we found a little bit of a bottom here. Touched it several times at around 74. We're now moving back up. Now, for it to be a buy, we want this RSI trend line to break the trend line to be above 50. This is good here that it broke the 10-day moving average, but I want to see this thing broken, $82. Okay. And then if we get it a little bit more movement with the stocks in general, maybe we'll break the downtrend line. But again, this is more of a shorter term leverage play on the S&P. Okay. Next, or last stock that I have to discuss is the VRSN, VRSN. The stock has been in a downtrend line as evidenced by both moving averages. Where do we bottom here? Well, here's an indicator that we bottomed here in mid-August and then again in early September. So a lower low, but up here we've got the RSI making a higher low. Okay, so the RSI is trending upwards. So that gave us the sign that we could be seeing a low, bullish divergence. We formed a nice rounded bottom here just by looking at the 10-day moving average. We finally broke the downtrend line on the stock last week. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green, green. So all greens here. That's what we want to see. It's above both moving averages, although both moving averages have not yet crossed. They will in due time. And the RSI broke above 50. Everything is a go on VRSN, VRSN. Okay, so that is the last one for today. Hopefully the market will continue to cooperate. It's as I said, it's been going like crazy, back and forth for the past while now. We should be getting more and more buy signals with more and more stocks if the general market participates. So just keep watching this channel. Subscribe, that way you'll get notified by YouTube. A big thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your comments about what you want to see, what you like, what you don't like, and as long as your comments are constructive, I'll listen. I do pay attention to what you write. So having said that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.